As young men, we just meander through life, getting into trouble, chasing pleasure, going after things that don't really matter because we haven't taken the time to sit down, we haven't been taught or taken the time to figure out a strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify your best move in life as a masculine man on the chessboard. Welcome back, boys. Thank you for your patience over the last few days. As some of you may have seen, I haven't uploaded. I've been out in the jungle. As you can see, I live in the jungle. I was in a different part of the jungle with no Wi-Fi and beasts, all kinds of different beasts and dragons and all sorts. So we've been overcoming that the last couple of days. Following up on that, I smashed the screen on my new laptop, so no PowerPoints for the next few days. That's now going to the repair shop to get fixed. But something happened over these last 2 days which I wanted to tell you about. And you've probably seen from the title that it's related to chess. And I think masculine life and chess are very, very similar. I've played chess from when I was younger, but I've only ever known the basic rules about how the pieces move, and I was never hugely into it. I wasn't massively a strategic thinker. I'm more of an extroverted personality, so I'd never thought about chess so much. And recently, obviously, watching Tate play chess, watching high-profile guys all playing chess, I thought, well, it must be worth something. Playing chess must do something to your mind that allows you to become a better high achiever or better in business or better in life. And over the last few days of playing more chess, I've realised that masculine life is strategy. The whole of masculine life is strategy as a young man, and I think that's what a lot of us miss. So as young men, we just meander through life, getting into trouble, chasing pleasure, going after things that don't really matter because we haven't taken the time to sit down, we haven't been taught or taken the time to figure out a strategy for life. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to identify your best move in life as a masculine man on the chessboard. Now, the first step to this is understanding what type of player you are going to be. You have to understand what game you're playing, what are your strengths when you play chess, and what are your strengths when you play life as a man. So the first thing I would recommend anybody does before deciding on a strategy for life, before trying to get anywhere or decide on a career change, a change of lifestyle, a change in location, is understand what type of personality you have. Do Jordan Peterson's personality test online. That's the one I used. I think JP is the GOAT. JP is a legend. And I think he genuinely wants to help young men. So do his personality test. And what this will give you is an idea of where you should play your game. If you're trying to play the game as a masculine man, if you're trying to improve your life and you do not know your strengths, you might find yourself in a job that you hate, in a job that you underperform in. You might find yourselves, I say to everyone, you should start with sales because life is selling. Now, certain personality types, if you really, really struggle to talk to people, you may not be that good at sales, but you might be an incredible strategic thinker already. You might be the person that is behind the operations, behind the sales team. There's places for that as well. So you need to understand. First thing first, get a personality test done and figure out your results so that you can look and see, okay, what are my skills? Now, once you've figured out your strengths, once you've figured out your personality, you can start to structure your strategy for what you want to do, what your next move is going to be in life, which can help you a lot if you are lost currently. The second thing you need to do is be very, very honest with yourself. Be incredibly honest and write down what are your actual weaknesses. What are the things that consistently hold you back? Because sometimes it's just taking away your weaknesses, taking away your biggest blunders, the things that really destroy your progress, is enough to then make you successful. If you have huge weaknesses, you can be on your grind for a month, 2 months, 3 months. But if after those 3 months you throw it all away because you have a weakness, something inside that destroys you, you're not going to get very far. So we need to understand the weaknesses in our personality and in our strategy. So for me, I'll give you mine. I'm fucking crazy. You may have noticed I pound my chest on here. There's a beast inside of me. If he is not entertained, if he is not given something to do, if he does not go to the gym, if he does not box, if he does not do his martial arts, if he's not learning a new skill or building a business, he will take over my body, he will run naked into the jungle, and he will fornicate with women for a long time. I would get very far with my progress. Something would come up inside of me and I need to party and just go and destroy it all. And I think a lot of young men do that because they don't understand their weakness. Now, I've understood my weakness and I have a deal with him. Understand that he will live inside of you. He is in there. You cannot kill him, I don't think. I think he's actually not a bad man. When I look at the side of myself that is crazy, it's actually one of the best parts of my personality. But for me, the way that I've dealt with it is by giving him things to do, by giving him other interesting things to be crazy with, by wearing him out on a daily basis, by doing something like this where I can give my personality on camera and I can use it for an advantage, which suppresses the need to go crazy and find entertainment in other areas of my life. So, boys, my thing for you, the next step is to find your weaknesses and be seriously honest with yourself, because you need to find a way to channel that weakness and turn it into a strength. For example, you might be a killer salesman. You might be one of the best closers in your organization, but the problem is with salespeople, a lot of being good in sales is actually organization. It's managing pipeline. It's knowing when to follow up with leads. So what you would do if you're massively disorganized, if you're the best seller out there, but you're massively disorganized, don't worry. Capitalize on that strength. Sell everything you can, but hire somebody to organize your calendar, to organize your diary, to check in with your clients, to do your follow-ups for you. That is how you overcome weaknesses, but we can't create this strategy without knowing our strengths and our weaknesses. So step number 1, personality check. Find out your strengths, tailor your strategy for your strengths, find out your weaknesses, either employ someone, learn something, put a system in place, but make sure that that weakness is not undoing the progress that you're making. Now, number 3, once you've looked inside, once you've seen your strengths and your weaknesses, you need to look at the game that you are playing. Because a lot of us are playing a game that is rigged against us, and because of the people around us, we decide to continue playing that game. So for example, when I lived in the UK, I quite quickly realised that I was playing a game that was not quite tailored to me, that was not quite taking advantage of everything I possibly could have. Everything's getting very expensive in the Western world. There's an interesting mindset in the people there, and I think in the UK it can be quite negative. There's a negative, nasty mindset around success, around masculine men, around high achievers, around people being on their grind. I think there's a destructive culture there, not in all parts of the UK, but certainly in a lot of it, and certainly in areas of my life. So I decided, after looking on the internet, deciding what game I would prefer to play. And I decided, well, my strengths were going online and being a personality on the internet. That's probably one of my strengths. Where would be a good place to do that? Because doing it in the UK, not going to help me with exposure on the internet. So I looked for a tropical paradise, somewhere I can use the surroundings to my advantage. I noticed I was very pale. I was quite, maybe even unwell from the lack of sunshine. And I know I'm not a bronzed Adonis now. I understand that. It's rainy season and I haven't been in the sun for a while. But Thailand had sun. Thailand had hot weather. Thailand had cheaper housing. Thailand had women that were very, very interested in young white males. So, where did I move? I came to Thailand. Now, what you've got to watch out for when you decide where you want to play your game is a lot of the influence on you in your life is going to come from friends, family, the people around you. You've got to be careful that some people don't try and guilt trip you into playing a game that's not tailored to you. For example, when I come over here, people message me, you can only get girls because you live in Thailand. Your house, you can only live in a nice big house like that because you live in Thailand. You can only drive that truck because it's cheaper over there. And it makes me laugh because I look at them and I think, you have the same options. Why would I stay somewhere the game is harder? Why would I choose to brag about living somewhere where I'm playing the hardest game possible? Identify where you would be best suited on the map based on your skill sets, based on what you want to do. Find out the best places to move to get into a certain industry and business. Find out where the hot hitters are going. Find out where the best places, the best work is for that thing, and move there. You need to play the game that allows you an advantage. As a young man, you need that beginner advantage. You need something in your corner because at the start it's so hard. When you've got something behind you, when you've built something, you've built a business, you've built your body, then you can move into other areas. You could play harder games, different strategies because you've got more tools. But in the beginning, you need to find where's my advantage on the planet. And that's your third step to your strategy, is finding where I am most advantaged on the planet and moving there. That might just be a different city in your country. It doesn't have to be a different country. But you need to figure out, am I playing the game where I have the advantage, or am I playing a disadvantaged game in life? And number 4 is you need to understand that you can only play the moves that you know, which means if you don't know a lot, when you're a young man, if you haven't learnt much yet, there might be moves going by. You might be looking at a chessboard and you might have a killer move you can play, but you don't know to move the piece there. You don't know the strategy. You don't know why that's worth doing. You might have opportunities coming past you every single day, but you cannot take them because you don't understand that they're there. That's a very real reality for young men that haven't got to where they want to be yet, is you might just not have the right information. So what you need to do in the meantime, once you've taken care of steps 1, 2, and 3, is you need to consistently learn. You need to consistently learn and develop, pay for knowledge, look for mentors, read books, go to new places, keep an open mind and an ear to the ground. And at the same time, whilst you're looking for these opportunities, whilst you're expanding your mind to see what might be your big break, understand that when your opportunity comes, and I think it does come for every man, a point in his life where he gets an opportunity, you need to be prepared for it, which means taking care of some other pillars. Now, these pillars that I recommend you look after, that you make sure you are the best at for what you can be right now, for when that opportunity comes, you can seize it with both hands. Number one is fitness. If you're fat as fuck, if you're skinny as fuck and you don't feel confident in your body, you're not going to perform well. If you're fat as fuck, you're not going to perform well. You're not going to feel good in your body. You're not going to feel good in your skin. So being fit, being healthy, having a good body, looking interesting and attractive to other people is a very important thing. So when the opportunity comes, you're more likely to get offered it. Number two, like we just covered, is learning. You've got to consistently be learning. Number three is network. You're not going to get far without a network. You can do that by joining groups. You could join Gorilla Tribe, 700 guys on self-improvement globally. There's plenty of other networks out there. If you're interested in ours, check it out down below. You can improve your network by going to a better gym, by sitting in the sauna, by networking with business people there. But you need to improve your network because that's where a lot of your opportunities will come from as a young man. Sometimes an opportunity will come across, but you need to take a risk, you need to take a gamble. Maybe an opportunity's come across in another country, you need to move there for a bit, you need to try a new business, but you don't have the cash to do it. So what I'd recommend you do, if you don't have a strategy for saving already, I know a lot of people tell you, don't put money in the bank, saved money, inflation. At this level, at a level from 0 to 10K, you need that 10 grand in the bank because that's what allows you to leave a 9 to 5 to take an opportunity. That's what allows you to stay locked and loaded. So when an opportunity arises, you can take it because you're not tied down. You have a slight bit of freedom. 10K is not a lot of money, but it will get you there. It allows you to move somewhere else, to try something new. If you have zero money or all your money, your free cash is tied up in investments in crypto, you have no access to capital, you are very much stuck and you might not have the ability to take opportunities when they are presented to you. And number 5 is women. Look, this one might be a controversial opinion, but I believe men should not ignore women for their whole grind. I certainly haven't. And I think there are very, very good things to be learnt about women. I think if you start learning about women young, if you consistently improve that pillar of being good with women, but understanding relationships, male and female dynamics, that will help you a lot in later life. I think if you completely ignore women, a lot of guys will use the excuse, and be honest with yourself, if you're using this excuse, they'll say, oh, I'm not interested in women right now because I'm focusing on my grind. I got my gym, I got my business I'm working on, I've got all of these things. Where a lot of people, in the reality of it is, you can say that you don't want a woman, at night time you still want a woman. Otherwise, you'll find yourself at a place where you've become successful, you've got money, you've got the body, women will be coming to you, but you might be easily manipulated. You might find yourself with a bad woman. You might not understand the game. You might fall in love too hard and lose everything. Look at someone like Bezos. Obviously, it didn't matter too much to him, but it can be a very catastrophic event for a young man. So I would recommend, don't spend all your time on women. Don't be constantly chasing tail and in the clubs, but speak to women. Continually improve your relationships with women, gender dynamics, understanding relationships, read books, read The Rational Male, read Hard Times Create Strong Men, and understand women. So when the time comes and you are the man, and you've amassed that lifestyle, that fortune, that success, that you don't have a chink in your armor. Because that chink can very easily be exploited. If you find a man who's risen to great heights but has never had experience with women, that's your weakest link. So boys, that is my advice to you. Masculine life is strategy. Masculine life is chess. Figure out your strategy, play it well, play the game that suits you, and don't let women be your chink in the armor. All right, son? I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. If you want to join the tribe, if you want to triple your testosterone, become a more masculine man, get my training programs, my nutrition, my supplement super stack, and join Gorilla Tribe, 700 plus members on a self-development journey. The link's in the description. I hope to see you boys in there. Drop me a private DM in the WhatsApp if you do join, and I'll happily message you back. But that is all for today, folks, and I shall see you on the next one. Whoop-a!